Welcome to Oorah's Shark Tank. The battle for a cause.
You are wrong.
Stop yelling and listen to what I have to say.
These program directors are fighting to win.
You'll get the most for your money when you invest in my program.
It's clear that my program is the program.
And win big.
Why give your money to something good when you can give your money to something better?
My dear friend, my dear shark, you're about to make a $500 mistake.
You are here at the Oorah auction, 18777 auction, and Oorah.org, listening live from our flagship station in Lakewood, Elchanan.
And here we have with us this evening our very first shark. We'll have three who our program directors will pitch to. He is a noted Oscan, president of Somerset Development, a man with many wonderful talents who uses them l'tovas haklal. We'd like to welcome our first shark, Mr. Ralph Zucker.
Good to
Who's here with us this evening. Good to welcome aboard.
Welcome to the Oorah Radiothon.
Now, for those of you listening, the rule is going to be like this. Each of our program directors over here is going to have, starting with Rabbi Biederman, will have a chance to have 60 seconds exactly to pitch their program to Mr. Zucker. You will not be able to argue with each other. You cannot interrupt each other. You have 60 seconds. Then Mr. Zucker has a chance to ask you some questions and maybe a bit of a rebuttal to what you have stated, and then you will make the decision as to where and what you will be funding. And now we start. Rabbi Beer, go ahead. You have 60 seconds. Your time starts now.
Good Mr. Zucker. Oorah has a lot of wonderful programs. We do great work. But whatever you do, when you take a kid and you have him in public school, and for 6 hours a day or more, he's engrossed in an environment that's totally antithetical to what we're trying to do at Oorah. He's exposed to posters, he's exposed to campaigns in the school that undermine everything that we're doing. Where his whole social life, all his friends, everybody's with all day, is either not Jewish or totally non-observant. The message he gets knocked into his head or her head every day, all day, are messages that undermine what we're trying to accomplish here at Oorah. That is why we fund tuitions, because we don't want kids in that environment. We fund tuitions because we take them from an environment, forget about the positive aspects of tuitions that we sponsor. Tuitions that we sponsor take the kids from an environment that undermines everything we try to do, and we pull them out of that environment and we put them in a place so that our other programs can kick in. But there's nothing more important than the bread and butter of taking them out of the place that their minds are being poisoned and they are being their hashkafos, their outlook on life, and their education is an education that totally goes against what we stand for.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good, very well presented. Rabbi Reichman, you're next.
Okay, Mrs. Zucker, I'm going to represent the Torah Mates program. As you are aware, it's a program that's a one-on-one learning program for adults. We have about 1,800 adult partnerships and about 1,200 junior Torah Mates. And I'm going to cut straight to the chase. You're a businessman. So Torah Mates is the most diversified investment you can get. We have people that are 90 years old that have Torah Mates. We have children that are 8 years old that have Torah Mates, and anything in between, men and women. It's also not a seasonal investment because Torah Mates is week in, week out, every single week of the year. You learn with your Torah Mates. Some people learn a couple of times a week with the Torah Mates. Torah Mates is also an investment that you can market test yourself. You can have your own Torah Mate, as I believe you do. Mr. Zucker, if you recognize this picture, who's this person sitting here right next to you? That is your Torah Mate. What's his name? Okay, this is your Torah Mate that you met. And it's also an investment that will ensure any other programs that you have. It will ensure a Biederman's investment of tuition, because when the kids in camp, and the kids in school His parents will have Torah mates to help him along, to help to be mechazik the parents, so the children will be able to be successful in school. Either they'll learn with the parents, or the parents can do homework with the children. It also will ensure that after the kid's in camp for a month or 2 months, he has his Torah mate to follow up with him and to keep him going throughout the year. And also, last but not least, it's the biggest bang for your buck, because Torah mates, if you're donating $500, what are you going to get for tuition? $500, how much is that going to last you in the school? How much is it going to last you in camp? But with $500, you can set up 10 Torah mates, 10 partnerships, which is 20 people, including sending them books, svarim to learn, day in, day out, for years to come.
Thank you, Rabbi Reichman. Rabbi Kravitz, your 60 seconds.
Okay, I want to thank Rabbi Biederman and Rabbi Reichman for presenting the tuition side and the Torah mate side. Mr. Zucker, you are a visionary. You drive around Lakewood or wherever you develop, and you see forests, you see undeveloped areas, and you say, I'm going to build houses. I can't help myself. I'm going to build a lot of houses in those areas, and you see, you get it. You know how to see not just what you're looking at or what it could grow into. Obviously, when you come to buy a house, Rabbi, the other programs here are talking about finishing the product. I'm at the beginning. I'm the foundation. As you know, when you see that plot of land, you have to survey it. You got to hire people. You got to deal with all the neighbors who don't like things. You got to have plans, and you got to change the plans. Then you got to start building. Then you got to have foundation. Sending somebody to camp is the beginning. Sending somebody to camp is a place where Yiddishkeit is vibrant and exciting. Not everybody at first is ready to sit in the yeshiva. There's a big growing pains that someone has to do. Not everyone is ready to take on a Torah mates. You get your bang for the buck when there are 600 kids, 800 kids, 600 staff members, where they come to the zone, and you'll have, I said 600, there's 800 kids who will walk out with a zest and excitement for Yiddishkeit, and thus then we can build. So if you want to be a visionary as you are, I invite you to join me and invest in the zone camp.
Okay, so they all make, Mrs. Zucker, they all make some very compelling points. Any questions for our...
First of all, a statement. I want to tell Rabbi Kravitz that as an investor, flattery will get you nowhere. So thank you very much. However, I'd like to start with Rabbi Biederman. You know, I always like to see somebody who has a little bit of skin in the game as well. You want to co-invest. You don't want to invest and have your money hanging out there all alone. And when you're sending children to school and you're paying their tuition, are their parents co-investing with them? Does anybody else have skin in the game? Or is Oorah just picking up the tuition totally all by themselves?
Oorah's tuition programs, sometimes they pick up the entire tuition. However, it's a scaled program. And the more involved the family is, if the parents have Torah mates, if the parents are involved in Oorah programs, if the child goes to camp, that tuition is scaled up, this tuition subsidy scales up and up so we can get the most bang for our buck. Right now we're paying for tuitions, partial or full tuitions, for over 600 children. And in schools throughout the country and in Eretz Yisrael, in yeshivas, advanced yeshivas in Eretz Yisrael, every tuition is taken on a case-by-case basis, and very frequently the parents' involvement, the child's tuition subsidy is contingent upon the parents' involvement in Oorah's programs and the parents' investment, financial.
Why is it necessary to subsidize the tuition? Don't the parents have to pay tuition anyway?
No, the kids are doing public school. Great
answer. Okay, Rabbi Kravitz, sort of the same question in camp. Wouldn't the kids be going to camp anyway? Why is it necessary to have it? It's great, I love everything you said about camp. I've enjoyed camp many years. But kids are going to camp. Why would they need my money to send somebody else's child to camp?
Because, first of all, a lot of our kids will not go to camp because they're scared. They're scared to obviously go from camp. They're not fit for that, number one. Number two is many of them can't afford camps. We give substantial scholarships to our children to get to camp. Why send a kid to our camp? Because when you send a kid to the camp, you've now entered into the Oorah family, and then you can thus join every other program, the tuition and the Yom Tovim and the Torah mates. But I'm talking about back to the basics. No flattery, straight talk. Back to the basics. You got to excite the kids. You got to get them started. The only place in all the three programs that we're talking about where kids get excited about Yiddishkeit, for everybody across the board, basic to more advanced, is you come to the zone camp and you're ready to go.
Last but not least, Rabbi Reichman.
Right now, at this point, like who's got the edge over here? Where you leading? Can you
I
give
still
us?
have to hear from Rabbi Reichman. All great programs, great answers. I want to hear a little bit more about Torah Mates. Why does Torah Mates need money at all? You're taking somebody, you're saying make a phone call, learn Torah. I learn with a chavrusa. I don't have to have somebody pay me. I don't have to raise money for it. Why do I have to invest in Torah Mates? It's a great program. But what's the money for?
We got to pay for the plaques.
Very good point, and that's why the overhead is very, very low and you get the biggest bang for your buck. But there is a cost in facilitating to set up Torah Mates, to be able to find two people that are actually compatible with each other. They want to learn the same thing. They're available at the same time, and they actually will get along with each other. We don't want to just set up two people, like the Gemara says that the king set up Shidduchim, and the next morning they all broke up. We want to set up Torah Mates that are going to last for a long time. A real relationship that's not just going to be about learning, it's also going to be about mentoring and about bringing the family along in their journey through Yiddishkeit.
While Mr. Zucker is debating this very, very, very tricky decision, we want to remind you out there that you also could weigh in at 18777 auction, Oorah.org. I hope you're learning about these important Torah Mate, the Zone, and the yeshiva education. And I hope you've been listening to the numbers over here. You're talking about 3,000 Torah Mates, just like Justin Zemser, all of our Shalom. Am I correct in that? 1,200 and 800 is 3,000. And you're talking about 600 children in yeshivas all over the world. And you're talking about, at the Zone, a staff of 600 volunteers, mind you. A staff of 600 volunteers for 800 children. And now let's hear what Mr. Zucker has to say.
What's your?
Okay, if you heard enough.
You want to get?
I think.
Go ahead.
Are you ready to make a decision?
Yes,
Have you heard enough?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and who's it going to
Okay,
be?
so at the risk of running, suffering from Rabbi Kravitz's revenge, and all great programs, and Rabbi Biederman, you made a great case, but I think I'm going to go with Rabbi Reichman and Torah Mates. And let me tell you why. I think there's nothing as valuable, nothing I could invest in better than the pure, unadulterated Torah learning, two people sitting together, a chavrusa shaft. That is what's kept us going through all the years, and that's what's going to keep us going. It's a feeder to the camp. It's a feeder. That's why you have people to pay tuition for. That's why you have kids to come to the camp. That's why you keep them together. All great programs. I'm going to go with Torah Mates.
Mr. Zucker, I have to tell you that the Kramer family backs you up. The Kramer family was just here, and they said their journey started with Torah Mates. And that's 1-877 Torah 123. If anybody wants to get involved to be a Torah Mate, 1-877 Torah 123. If anybody wants to support the Torah Mate system or to support the yeshivas and have a child in yeshiva, Rabbi Biederman, what would it be for a child in yeshiva now to support where both parents are in Torah Mates?
I believe it's $3,000 in elementary school.
$3,000 to have a child in yeshiva, and that's a schooler to have children, grandchildren. It's a schooler for shidduchim. 1-877 auction, Oorah.org.
Okay, thank you so much. The Shark, once again, will be having two more segments of the Shark Tank.